All righty, Sally, thank you so much for presenting for us today. We'll go ahead and turn the time over to you, and we'd love to hear what you have for us today.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. My name is Sally Garcia, Star Diamond Coach, and I want to start off by telling you a little bit about what I do. I am the busy women's fitness coach. I help women lose weight, get fit physically and financially. So with that said, I want to make sure that you guys know exactly what my call is going to be about. And it's about inviting, how to invite like a boss. All right. Inviting is something that we all need to get comfortable with. So what I tell my coaches right off the bat is get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you got to get your feet wet. And we got to get it going right out of the gate. So inviting is the most important part of our business. So if you're into helping people, if you're into challenge groups and making income, making new friendships along the way, this is totally for you. So first thing is that we must learn to always invite. What does this mean? We hear it all the time. Can mean so many different things, but honestly, for me, inviting is the same as sharing. So I'm always inviting and sharing about myself, about what I do for my business, and what it does for other people. Just always be encouraging, and don't ever be timid or hesitant about your product or your business, because it's been proven over and over again that this Beachbody business is absolutely amazing, and it's a great opportunity for so many different people. Be bold and confident, because you offer a solution to live a healthier lifestyle, better income, to be a leader and a mentor in the industry or in your business, and for the others that you're talking to as well. So again, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because it's all about just sharing and inviting people, and be bold for sure. So my exact process of what I do, I'm going to share a little bit about that. And if you have any questions, we can get into that after I explain. So first thing that we must do is always work from a list. So a lot of people are like, okay, so like, what's the list? If you've ever read the book Go Pro or listened to the audio, I love the audio because I'm always in my car and I'm always listening to it. And my kids actually know like the lines. We hear it so much, which is good, because now I'm feeding my kids how to be professional, in their life, and they take it everywhere they go, and they make new friendships at school when it's too difficult. Those little things trigger in your mind. So it's good. So personal development for sure, right? All for the family. So if you've ever read or listened to Go Pro, what I'm about to say might sound familiar. And if you haven't, I encourage you to go grab a copy. So in life, there are posers, amateurs, and professionals. I choose to be a professional, and as I train my team or my new coaches, I train them and teach them to be professionals as well. We skip over the poser and we skip over the amateur. Again, if you've never read Go Pro, please go grab that copy, because it's going to like blow your mind. So what I do is I add to my list every single day. Every day I'm meeting new people, talking to everyone in sight, and I'm sharing with them. And those people that I talk to, I make sure that one way or another, I get their personal information, like an email address or a phone number or both. I ask them if they're on Facebook. Let's hook up. What's your Facebook name? It's super simple, and it's non-abrasive. It's, it's more of a comfortable way of inviting people to your life. And making friends with them. Either Instagram, if they're a lot younger, a lot of the younger crowd is on Instagram, I tend to run into. And then again, Pinterest or Twitter. I don't really do a whole lot of Twitter. I do a little bit of Instagram and Facebook for sure. Okay, so I'm always inviting and adding to my list. Now I call my list my Mac Daddy list, and that's the list that I work from. So my Mac Daddy list, I add every single person that I run into or that I meet, anyone on social media that I add, you know, like that 6 degrees of separation. So I know Joe and Joe knows, you know, so-and-so, and then I become friends with so-and-so, and then it's just this big circle, and then now we're all friends, right? Now we're all family. So I add them to my list. I become friends with them, and I ask them for their information aside from Facebook, and add them to my Mac Daddy list. So I use it to invite people. So I use my list to invite people. So let's say I want to contact the next person on my list, if I'm working from my list, to invite them. And they happen to be on Facebook. I haven't talked to them in a long time. So what I do is I go down my list and I go onto Facebook and I just do a little bit of homework on them. Like, what have they been up to lately? You know, so I just checked out Joe. He's the next one on my list. And there was a birthday that weekend, you know, and they were celebrating, and they took a really cute picture. So what I do, and this is something new that I've started using, but it really, really works. I do the voicemail on the personal message on Facebook. So remember, FB, PM, VM. Facebook, personal message, voice message. So it only allows you from your phone. So you look up Joe and then you go to send him a message, and it only allows you 60 seconds. So it's really quick. So what do you do first? You compliment, you be genuine. You've got to be genuine. You have to sound like you mean it, because otherwise just don't even do it. And then third, you invite. So I'm just gonna, just off the top of my head, hey Joe, oh my gosh, that picture of your kids this weekend at your celebration, way cute. I love that little outfit your daughter's wearing. Hey, by the way, it made me think of you that I am gonna be running a 21-day challenge this week. I would love for you and your wife to join my group. Bam, just like that. You can finish it off with anything you'd like. I always end it off with a little bit more compliment. People love to hear about themselves and how awesome they are. So just simple, nothing threatening, right? And nothing too abrasive. It's just like you're being a friend, you're being genuine, and hey, by the way, this is what I've got going on, you know? So that really works for me if I'm working from my list and I'm being more direct that way. Now, so there's two, which leads me to the 2 types of inviting. I brushed on this a little bit last week, but I'll get into it a little deeper. So there's the direct invite, and then there's the passive invite. So direct, I always form. I just talked about it a little bit. You ask about their family. You ask about what they're doing, occupation, you know, stuff like that. Recreation, what do you guys do for fun? So even if you do the whole thing on social media and you know about them, just ask more questions, get to know them. And this works face to face. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about what happened to me this morning. I dropped off my car at the auto shop, and Enterprise Rent-A-Car came to pick me up. Well, the drive over to Enterprise was only about 5 to 7 minutes, but boy, did I learn all kinds of things about Alice. You know, she's 24. She works at LA Fitness. She saw my coffee mug that says Team Beachbody on it. She asked me what I did. I told her exactly how I opened the call up. I help busy women get fit physically and financially. Bam. She goes, wow, that is so cool. And she asked me all kinds of questions, but then I just went back to her and asked her about her family, asked her about her occupation, working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Does she love it? You know, does she enjoy it? What is she learning from it? She's young, so I'm not going to ask her too many like questions about like other things, but she really was into her career. And she was telling me about how it's helping her in other places in her life. So it was a really easy transition to personal development, how we encourage, who we are as leaders, how we mentor, things like that. And boy, she's just like, oh, can I just give you my information? It was so easy, right? Not every person's going to be that easy, but the more questions that you ask, the more information they give you, and then you become friends with them. And you are creating that trust. So be interested in them, not interesting. Don't talk about yourself. Always be interested in that person. Knowing more about them gives you more, credibility of who you are, and just it gives you more, I guess, power to share with them and invite them to your challenge group or to the business opportunity. So for me, face-to-face is always better. I am always surrounded by people. I always do surround myself with a lot of people. So that kind of works very well. But the social media or, virtual way of direct inviting is awesome. It really is. Now, you can do that with text messaging, emails, personal messages, phone calls. Those all work. Just like the little blurb I just said, about sending that voice message to Joe about his cute little family. So passive. It requires building relationships, and it is a little bit slower, but it's more of like going around and using your social media for inviting, putting yourself out there about what you're doing to stay healthy, what you're doing for your business. Because sometimes people just think you're a workout fanatic or a nutritionist or something because you're always posting your meals, right? But a lot of times people just don't really understand and know that you are actually a CEO of a fitness business. So put it out there and always be, proud of the business that you're running. So that's more of a passive, like using your Facebook for snippets of your lifestyle, your health, your fitness, and your business. So engage with private Facebook groups. This is another tip. Of course, the gardener's coming. Can you guys still hear me, or is it loud? Okay. All right. So passive requires building relationships and adding to your network daily. So you're still, one second, I'm going to close the door. All right, that might work a little bit. All right, so it still requires that you're adding people to your network and meaning to your Mac Daddy list on a daily basis. I do this by finding groups and engaging with private groups on Facebook. Something like whatever hobbies you're into, whether it's knitting or volleyball or whatever it may be, mom groups, dad groups, engaging in conversations that other people's comments or posts. That's how I make friends on social media. And I add to my network every single day. So now I have a few different ways, the face-to-face, because I'm always surrounded by people, or I surround myself. And then I have my regular page on Facebook and my like page, and then all my different groups that I belong to. So I think I covered a lot, and I talked really fast. So if you have any questions, that'd be awesome. I just want to leave you with one thing that I want you to think about all day long, and I hope you write this down and put it on your whiteboard. Today, your goal is to inspire people and make positive lifestyle changes. I sent that one out to my entire team this morning, and everyone's like, oh, yes, you rock. That's awesome. Monday mornings are all about pumping your teams up, right? All right.
Well, good deal, Sally. That was amazing. Thank you so much for presenting for us today. I think you hit a lot of awesome points here. One of the things that I consistently see with inviting is, inviting really is sharing. And I think sometimes people feel a little bit intimidated. And when you look at it that way, it's so much easier to go forward and to help add value to people's lives. And it's so cool that we work for a company that you don't have to feel shy about talking to people about what we do. Like some of these other companies out there, you're like, oh, I don't want to burn my bridge with this person, or I don't want to do this with that person. And with Beachbody, you look at our 3 vital behaviors: be a product of the product, invite, and personal development. you can't really get better than that when you're doing all three of those things. So it's fantastic. Yeah, it's pretty cool that you had that example from today too of your little interaction with the person from the rental car place. That's neat. Okay, let's open this up really quick then to just maybe a Q&A or maybe something that you guys have found that has worked for you. So does anybody have any questions right now for Sally on inviting or anything that she presented on today? Any questions?
Can you repeat that last thing you shared with your team today, Sally? Inspire people and what? And make?
Yeah, today your goal is to inspire people to make positive lifestyle changes.
Good deal. Perfect. One thing that I'd love for you to maybe elaborate a little bit more on that I really like that you presented on, which is reaching out to these different Facebook groups and how you do that. Like, what are some of the ones that you utilize, and what have been the results you've found from reaching out to some of these groups on Facebook? I particularly like that, but if you could share what you've seen, maybe some of your results on that side, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so for me, my niche is mostly like women with children, and I belong to a lot of different groups within my city. So I live in the city of Huntington Beach, California, otherwise known as Surf City. And, you know, our cities always take a lot of pride in whatever they stand for. You know, there's just different, every city has something different that they offer. And I'll just give a little quick example of one of them. It's called HB Moms. And most of the moms are, you know, drop off their kids at school and then they get on Facebook and they're in this group and they talk about whatever happened that morning dropping off their kid. Just super silly, right? But just engaging with them in their silly conversation, you get to make friends with them, and then they check you out on your Facebook page, and then they're like, oh my gosh, you teach classes at the park, you know? Or, hey, Sally, I saw that you're posting this shake thing. What is that? What are you drinking? You know? Or, hey, I saw you at school with your coffee mug. Look at me. I'm wearing my PIO shirt. Wear and share. I know it sounds super dorky, but it totally works. It totally works. I don't have a lot of wear and share. I have PIO. I have a Insanity. I am an Insanity master trainer instructor, so I have a couple of tank tops. But yeah, no, just kidding. But you know, it's like just like simple things, and it's not like you're shoving it in their face, you know, or anywhere you're walking, even water in your Shakeology shaker, you know, whatever. It catches people's eye, and even if they don't ask you the first or the fifth or the 100th time they see you, they will ask you soon enough. But that's one of my groups. Now, another group that I belong to, which I thought was super dorky because I'm not like totally into my dog like that. I'm not like that kind of person. But I have a Bichon, Frigé. I know I'm totally saying it wrong because I'm not French, but they're unique dogs. Therefore, I looked it up on Facebook, and there's all kinds of groups that were people that own this kind of dog, and they're just like crazy about the Bichons. So, I mean, like so crazy with their haircuts and stuff like that. And mine always looks like she belongs in the gutter. I don't know, because I don't brush her every day. But, you know, regardless, I am funny like that. That's just my personality. Like, you know, I'll show pictures of my dog, and I'll say, okay, I need help. I can't afford $75 every 3 weeks to take my dog in for grooming. What tips do you have to share with me? You know, and boy, people love to share their like secrets, you know, they love to share what they know. And when you're making people feel special like that, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try that. And then maybe you do try it. Or tell somebody else to try it for you, and then you take a picture of your dog and post it there, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, see, I told you so. And then you're like, yeah, thank you so much. I'm so grateful, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to send you a friend request. Make sure you accept that request. And now you've added to your network or added to your Mac Daddy list. So I'm really good that way. I'm always engaging with people. That's my social time since I really don't have another social type of life besides my kids. But Yeah, that's how it works for me.
Cool. Fantastic.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So your Mac Daddy list, is it on a piece of paper in a notebook? Is it using Asana? Is it using Evernote? You know, how do you keep it all together?
Okay, so this is how I start. I start with my power of 3. You can't see it, because the lighting's really bad in here. But my power of 3, on the top it says my 3 new ads from Facebook. And usually I have a lot more ads than just 3, because that's my strength. And then it says the 3 new Hey Girl messages, right? And usually the ones that I've added, I send the Hey Girl or Hey Guys, you know, messages. And then 3 new messages to friends. So I do write it down on paper first. And then I'm super simple and old school. I just use Excel. And then I just put it on my Excel spreadsheet. Okay? First name, last name, email, phone number. Any other information you have goes to the side of that. I use automated CEO, auto CEO. Okay, that's what I use. So whenever it's time for me to load my contacts again, I just switch it into there. And the way I keep contact with everyone once a month, sometimes twice, is I use automatic CEO to send out a little newsletter or the, you know, whatever. I try not to be so salesy in my newsletters. Like I'll use what they offer, but I totally butcher it to Sally's style. Yeah. Does that help?
Yes, thank you so much. That is awesome ideas for sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Any other questions for Sally today? So just going back to the Facebook groups, I really love that approach because it's not just getting in touch with one person, you're getting in touch with a large amount of people. So it's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. It's a really cool technique. I like it a lot. And one other thing too that I've seen as well that other coaches have done is they'll do their invites in specific groups that will allow you to do that. Like some groups you can't advertise in, right? But other groups you can. And the groups that allow you to advertise, you know, I've talked to several coaches who have fantastic results with that. So they'll do like an invite and say, hey, I'm looking for moms who are desperate to make a change in the right direction with their physical fitness. If you're interested, let me know. And it'll show like a picture of their before and after. If you'd like to join me on this journey, you know, send me a personal message. And you'll get like tons of people who want to do this because you're reaching out to a lot of people, not just one, right? And they're people that aren't necessarily people you've already approached. So you got to look for certain forums or certain groups that will allow you to do that. Not everyone will allow you to advertise, but in towards Sally's direction, the way she does it, if you get in with a specific group and you become friends with them and you're adding value and you have things in common, you're gonna have friends there and they will want to help you. You know what I mean? Once you establish friendships with other people and you've done things to help them and or vice versa, sometimes it's funny, like Sally said, like if they give you a tip that worked well for you, it develops a bond there. You know what I mean? You develop this bond, and even if they've done nothing but help you, they like you and they want to help you even more because you've established that relationship. And I feel like Sally's point of making sure that your compliments need to be sincere is crucial too. You know what I mean? Like people can see through the cheesy, you know, not non-sincere or genuine remarks. So building those relationships and creating those are great. I've had the same thing in personal businesses in the past. Like people see me or I don't even know them, but they like me and we've developed a relationship. So they're trying to help me through social media. So it's really fun. I like that technique a lot. Any other questions so far?
Or even like a scenario, you know, that's happened and you just didn't know how to like respond.
Like, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, like just say, you know, someone asks you, yeah, what do you do? Oh, I'm a health coach. You get like people asking you questions after that? Or do you kind of find that they're like, oh, okay. You know, because that happens. I know it happens because my coaches start off with that. Oh yeah, I'm a health coach. Okay, but people don't ask, like they don't, if you're not going to elaborate, they're not going to ask you any more questions. So that's why I'm really direct on how I open and introduce myself. And, once, because they're asking me first, what do you do? So I'm going to tell you exactly what I do, right? I help busy women lose weight, get fit physically and financially. I'm not afraid because I know it works.
Who doesn't want that too, right?
Right.
I mean, get fit physically and financially. That's like a total win-win. Yes and yes, right?
Yeah, right? Check.
I know. Totally. I love it. That's really cool. I like how direct that is for sure. It's great. One other thing that I was thinking of that I think is interesting, that you kind of jogged my memory on, is sometimes coaches feel intimidated to talk to somebody about the coaching opportunity or about Beachbody or whatever it is. And there was another coach that I was speaking with that years back, there was another company that was similar, a weight loss company or whatever. And on social media, her friend had invited everyone to participate but her. And she felt hurt by it. She felt offended that she wasn't invited. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we let our fear get in our way of helping other people. There's a total door to success there. We just have to be brave enough to open it and to invite other people in, because there's so many people. I mean, Beachbody has an opportunity that can help so many people, just incredibly. It can really change people's lives for the better in so many different ways, between the physical fitness portion, the personal development portion. What we have here is fantastic. And all we can do is try and share it with people. And if they say no, they say no, right? But in all honesty, who really doesn't want to get in better shape? I mean, even if you're in really good shape, who doesn't want to get in better shape or make more money? And whether you need to go on your fitness journey and lose the weight, or whether you're already there and you're looking into the business opportunity, what we have, it can really interest anyone. I will say that Beachbody is not for everyone, but asking them to be part of it is the first step. If they say no, just follow up with them later.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they'll come back to you, or if they don't, they'll rethink it and it'll be in their head. And then when you ask them the second time, they're like, you know what? Totally, for sure.
Exactly.
A lot of times it's not that they don't want to. It's just they might be a little bit intimidated, or they're not sure, and expressing that confidence in them and giving them those compliments, I think is important. When you reach out to somebody and you tell them, you know what, I think you'd be a fantastic Beachbody coach, and here's why. How's that going to make them feel? I mean, it's not like you're saying that you think that they'd be a fantastic POG player or ice curler or something that's totally strange or, different. But like, being a Beachbody coach is kind of something cool, I think. It has this coolness factor to it. So expressing your faith and confidence in them that they would be a phenomenal Beachbody coaches.
But you know what I want to say though too, like, yeah, about the health and the fitness for sure. But I think we forget that business owners are all over it because they understand business, and most of them understand multi-level marketing. And once they do their research about our company, about Beachbody, they're usually all over it. And it's all on that business aspect. So we can't forget that. Let's just say we have our 1s through 5s people. Like, let's rate them, right? Our 5 is the business owner. Is that person who really scares you. That person that you're just like, I can't go up to that person because they own, $1 billion company. Why would I, right? But you can't discount because they're just people too, and they understand business. So they would probably be very appreciative that you actually went and said, hey, I want you to look at this. What do you think? Right, Joe?
Totally. It's so funny that I get people on here that work on Wall Street. I'll have doctors, nurses, lawyers, all these different people from all sorts of walks of life that are professionals. And those are definitely, in my eyes, the people you want to shoot for first, because they're the ones that are going to be truly fantastic. I try to find who the people are who has the tools to be a successful Beachbody coach. Yeah, you know, in the business world and also through the physical fitness side. So if they have the tools to be fantastic, that's what's really going to help you and your business, but also they're going to do an amazing job with Beachbody as well. So perfect. Really cool. Okay, guys. Sally, you did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for presenting for us today. You were amazing. Does anybody have anything for her before we close this thing up? Okay, perfect. Thank you again so much, Sally. And looks like next week, Megan's going to be our presenter, and we're going to be talking about getting coaches started right. So that's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this call. It's always so fun to have you guys here and to hear what you guys have to say and different practices you guys use. So we'll see you guys next week. And again, thanks for joining us.
Nice job, Sally.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.